Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This is comic book haul number 58, the Baltimore Comic Con. I used to make these Comic Con videos with the New York Comic Con. Now, I haven't gone to the New York Comic Con since 2019, and I probably won't be going for a while. But I did go to the Baltimore Comic Con. For those of you that saw my last video talking about FOMO and all that stuff, I filmed it while I was there in my hotel. And now, while I have a little bit of time, I don't have too much time, but I have a little bit of time to show you my pickups from the Baltimore Comic Con. But before that, let me give you a little bit of details on it. I went with Mike, so it was great to go out and hang out with him. We had a great couple of days. We drove in on Thursday, and we stood until early Saturday afternoon, and then we came back. But I had a really good time. I would say that, you know, when it comes to some of the top comic book conventions I've been to throughout my life, mainly within the last 10 years, I would say my number one experience was the New York Comic Con 2014, because it was my first Comic Con, and I had such a wonderful time 10 years ago. I'm sorry for clearing my throat. But 10 years ago, that was a wonderful Comic Con experience. And then after that, the Comic Cons gradually got worse, the New York Comic Cons. But number two on that list would probably be Heroes Con in 2018. Very similarly, at number three is the Baltimore Comic Con. I had a really good time. A lot of great dealers, a lot of great books. And it really, it truly is a Comic-Con for comic collectors. Yeah, there's some other things there like art and artists, things of that nature, but it really is nothing but books. I was really impressed, you know, going around, seeing all the different dealers, and then seeing some of the same dealers put different books up on the walls. So I had a really, really, wonderful time. I really did. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get to the books. Now, unlike, for those that remember the Heroes Con, when I accidentally left my books in my books in Starbucks, and I had to quickly do a U-turn to get them back. I didn't forget my books this time. This time I made sure that my books were packed and they were around my shoulder. So let's get right to it. Now, I didn't pick up that much, okay? But what I picked up, I really, really liked. Now, this was the first book I picked up at the con. Walking around, getting the lay of the land, seeing who has what, and I saw this book, and I said, oh, you know, it's a lower grade copy, but if I could get it for a pretty good price, I'll buy it, you know? And here we have Worlds of Fear, number 4. I've always liked this cover. I know Worlds of Fear, they seem to have something with eyes. You know, this is obviously being one of those issues, but I forget the number, but there's a famous World of Fears book where there's a guy on the cover and his eyes seem to be gouged out and there are eyes all over the place. So it's another book by Worlds of Fear that seems to have a lot to do with the eyes. Okay, well, they say eyes are the doorway into the soul. So, but yeah, I managed to pick this up. Like I say, it's probably a 3.0 copy. Could use a press to make it look a little bit better, but it probably won't improve the grade. But not bad. Not bad. Okay. Now, the next two books I got from Superworld. All right. I saw this book here, and, you know, whenever I see a good Bronze Age horror, DC Bronze Age horror, I pick it up. Ghosts. What number is this? Ghosts 33. Pretty cool. Pretty solid grade and solid price. Now, here's a book also from the same, like I said, from the same place, Superworld. I've been meaning to upgrade this book for a while. Years ago, I had a nice copy of it and I sold it, and I regretted it ever since. And then I picked up another copy a couple of years ago. It's probably like a 6.5. This one is an easy 9.0 copy. It could use a little bit of a press. I don't know if the press will make it a 9.2, but it's definitely a nice 9.0 copy. War is Hell, number 9, the first appearance of Death. I remember when this book, speaking of FOMO, right, was all the craze. Well, at least there was a craze around it, because the character death, and this was right before Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War came out, and there are rumors about all those different things. There are always rumors, right? But yeah, finally able to upgrade that. Now, the last book I picked up day one, because I got a couple books here from day two, but the last book I picked up from day one was actually one from Mike. And I wanted to add this one to my collection. Here we have Beyond 27. Classic cover. This is a book. Now, I know the more famous book that looks similar to this is when you have the two skeleton co-pilots. I mean, that book is very, very expensive. It's just shot up to a crazy price. But this one, too, I think is another great book. You just don't see it. You know? It's not a book that typically comes up. So I was able to get this nice 4.5 from Mike. All right? Very, very cool. Now, day two, like I said, we left on day two, which was Saturday. We were there Thursday night. I mean, obviously we couldn't go in because the show didn't start till Friday. We had VIP badges, so it was really nice to walk in hours before everybody else got there. On Friday, the first day, I think the con opened up around 1 or 2 p.m. I don't remember, but an early afternoon. Me and Mike were there by 8:30. We had our badges, we went in, we were picking things out while everybody was everyone was putting things on the wall, looking around. It was really, really great. So it was truly a top, like I was saying at the beginning of this video, top 3 experience. Although I enjoyed the New York Comic Con, the first one I went to 10 years ago, 2014, I can't believe that's been 10 years ago, because I was so overwhelmed, and I went with my friend Brian, and I was picking up all the books I wanted. It was truly like a remarkable experience. And then when I went to Heroes Con, that's the first con I went to that was very far away, you know, back in North Carolina, and there with Mike. That's when I first met Mike and Patrick and everyone else. It was a really great experience. But I really have to say Baltimore Comic Con is right up there. The fact that all the things I said earlier, and the fact that I was able to get in early, and it was just so peaceful and relaxing. Didn't have to worry about people bumping into you and all that stuff. It didn't start getting that way. It wasn't like that way at all on Friday, because we were there from the time they, like from 8:30, like I said, 8:30, 8:45, and we were there until they closed at 7. We were there all day. And then on Saturday, we left like around, I don't know, 1:45, almost 2 o'clock. Around that time on Saturday, it started to get a little packed and a little, not uncomfortable. It's Heroes Con type of packed, not New York Comic Con type of packed, which is just miserable. But anyway, day 2 on Saturday, I went in there with Mike, and we went shopping a little bit again. And I said to myself, maybe I'll pick up one more book. And I went to this one guy that had 2 books that I wanted, so I picked them up. The first one that I pulled out was this one, Marvel Tales number 120. Really cool cover. This is probably like a 3.5. Okay, it's one of those books that you just don't see. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll upgrade it. You never know. But I saw this. I thought it was a good price. It's got a couple of issues with it, obviously, if it's a 3.5. But I figured I'd pick this one up. Then I looked to my left on this guy's wall. And I said to myself, ooh, that's one of the few Atlas Precodes that I would love to add to my collection. All right. And I've seen this book around quite a bit at this con. Quite a few dealers had it in various grades. 2 dealers had it in 6.5. Another dealer had it in a 5.0, and I managed to pick up a 5.0 myself of this copy. So here we have, I think, one of the best books I picked up this year. We have, what number? Just want to make sure I get the number right. Spellbound 17. Nice 5.0 copy. Like I said, yeah, all the books that I picked up at the con, Baltimore Car, had like some sort of a skeleton theme. Right? The ghosts, there were skeletons on this. This one right here, her hands are skeletal, and the skeletons in the background, or the zombified people. War is Hell, the death being a skeleton. Even Marvel Tales here, with the skeletons shooting what appears to be like a machine gun at this guy. I mean, me and Mike, we were talking about that earlier. Well, not only it's a zombie with a machine gun coming at you. Really cool. And of course the skeleton here on the Beyond. So I definitely, and I wasn't purposely doing that. You know, I wasn't purposely looking for, okay, now I'm going to do my skeleton theme like I like to do my morgue theme, right? No, it just happened to be that way. So I see it as fate. But yeah, Spellbound number 17. Really cool book. Very classic. I love this book because it's so in your face. She's given us the Home Alone yell with her skeletal hands. This is a Bill Everett cover, and just even the zombies or the skeletons in the background add a level of creepiness to this. But like I said, there's about a good 3 more Atlas books I would like to definitely have in my collection. I mean, obviously I want more Atlas books in my collection, Atlas Precode, but there are 3 more that I really want in my collection that are attainable for me. So hopefully when I do my 2025 list, because I doubt I'll be getting any of them this year, but when I do my 2025 list, want list, you'll see them on that list. But yeah, that was the Baltimore Con. A very overall a wonderful experience. It's not that far from my house. Well, Mike drove, but it's not that far from my house. It's literally like 2.5 hours from where I live. So that's nothing. You know, that's really nothing. So, but anyway, I don't know if any of you were at the Baltimore Comic Con. There were a couple people that recognized me, which is always nice. Not many, but a couple. But it's always nice to run into people. I was hoping to run into some more people than I did. I met a couple that I was very happy to have met. But anyway, were you at the Baltimore Comic Con? Are you planning to go to the New York Comic Con? I'm not. What do you think of the books? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and take care.